correspondent Sam Kiley has just arrived. Sam, what have you seen since arriving there in Marrakesh?
Well, Frederica, I think the first thing to say is that this is a nation that has been stunned by these earthquakes, particularly here in Marrakesh, because this is a city that doesn't have any memory at all of earthquakes, let alone one that has killed 13 people here in this city, but some 1,300 or more around the rest of the country. Now, this is an ancient minaret outside, or marking the outside of a very ancient mosque here in the Fana Square. And you can see how the top of it has just literally been shaken loose, and these crenellations along the walls that mark the outer walls of the old city. We've been driving along the edge of the old city, Fred, and we've seen a lot of those have been kind of snapped off. Some of them have been there for many hundreds of years. And if we look closer down here, you can see this extraordinary scenes where you've got a crushed vehicle that has been hit by falling debris, and then just beyond it, tourists and other people enjoying a cup of coffee. A very sort of strange atmosphere that has gripped this city. But Fred, elsewhere in the country, the disaster picture is very much more dramatic. There are whole villages that have been flattened. They end up looking like piles of rubble with a few houses remaining standing. Many hundreds of people have been killed in this. The King of Morocco, Mohammed, has declared a 3-day state of national mourning, but more importantly, he's mobilizing inevitably the emergency services to get out into the rural areas, particularly of the foothills of the Atlas Mountains, in order to try to rescue people. Now, just in the last few minutes, for example, on social media, there have been images of a woman being pulled out from rubble in a remote area. We don't know exactly where it is. The epicenter of this earthquake was about 45-50 miles outside of Marrakesh here to the south. But really, most of the devastation has been in the foothills of the ancient Atlas Mountains, where you've got a lot of remote villages, often set on the lower slopes of the Atlas Mountains. Many of them have been completely collapsed, and we've been speaking to eyewitnesses and survivors who are describing scenes of total devastation. Now, the problem for the authorities here is that a lot of the roads have been closed, Fred, by this earthquake. So getting help means getting there by air, Fred.